morning from Bacolod City, Philippines. Today I'm going to cook one of my favourite Filipino dishes, which is simply called Monggo. But first, I need to get some ingredients, and a lot of them I can get from my garden. First, I need some spring onions. Monggo is a Philippine stew, basically made of vegetables and mung beans. My Monggo is slightly different to the traditional Philippine recipe. I make it a lot healthier and put a lot more vegetables in it. I also like it a bit spicy, so I'm putting some of these chilies in. For me, there's nothing better than cooking with things you've picked from your own garden. Very fresh and free. I'm using two different types of chili. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they're spicy. I also need some ginger, only a little bit. And here's my ginger plant. I'll replant it after I've picked what I want. Unfortunately, I don't grow everything in my garden, so this morning I went to Burgos Market and I got these lovely peppers. They actually look like heirloom peppers, a little bit like big Scotch bonnets, but they're actually bell peppers. They'll be going in it. I've also bought a vegetable called sayote. This is very cheap. It tastes a little bit like a waxy potato. It's one of my favourite vegetables here in the Philippines. I also putting in a carrot. Nice fresh carrot there. And I've cheated with these peas. I went to SM for these. Just standard frozen peas. Some garlic, a red onion and a white onion. Couldn't decide which one to use, so I used both. And this is a Chinese pet chai, a Chinese lettuce. I'm using this instead of alagbati. Alagbati is normally the vegetable you'd use for leaves, but I'm using pet chai. Here's all my vegetables, all ready to go. I also need some meat. You can put whatever meat in you want, but traditionally, and what I'm going to use, is pork. Usually people use pork belly, but I'm using a pork steak. Has a lot less fat, and it's what I've got. Also, my secret ingredient, I'll put a couple of rashers of bacon in it. I'm using this honey bacon from Virginia. And these are my mung beans, very similar to a small pea. Before you cook them, you need to soak them in salted water. It makes them softer and makes them grow bigger. These have been soaked for about 2 hours now. They're starting to get bigger. They need to be soaked for about 4 to 5 hours, and then you cook them. And another vegetable I'll use is this. The leaves from this tree, malunggay. Very, very nutritious is malunggay.
How to get that?
And there you go, ready to use. To flavour the soup, I'm going to add some Knorr cubes. I'm using chicken. You can always use pork or whatever you like. The mung beans have now been soaked for 4 hours. Ready to go. They're a lot bigger than when they started. If you actually grow these, they turn into bean sprouts. Transfer them to a bigger tub and go through them. Pick out anything that's not perfect. Any broken beans or any really small beans, throw them out. All my vegetables are peeled now. All I need to do now is chop them all up. Okay, vegetables chopped. All ready to cook now. There's my chilies, my malungai. Here's my bacon and my pork steak, all chopped into cubes. Right, ready to cook. First thing, a big glug of olive oil. And in goes the pork and bacon. Cook the pork and bacon for a few minutes. After a few minutes, the bacon should start rendering its fat. Smelling good. All looking brown now. A lot of fat's coming out of the bacon, so it's time to add the onions. After the onions, it will be the peppers, the garlic and the ginger. In go the onions. Cook the onions for 3 or 4 minutes till they start going slightly translucent. Add a bit of salt. Helps the onions sweat. Next is the peppers, the garlic and ginger, and I throw the chilies in whole. So you can pick them out if you want to. Next go in the frozen peas. After the frozen peas, the chopped sayote and the carrot. Starting to look nice and colourful now. In goes the pet chai, the Chinese cabbage. So a lot of vitamins go into this. It's looking healthy already. Next, my spring onions. Give it a stir round. Now it's time for the star of the show, the mung beans. Here they are. They've been soaked for 5 hours now. In they go. I love the texture of mung beans. They're like little peas. This is a big bowl full of vitamins. Next I need to add the liquids and the stock. Add water, just enough water to cover all the vegetables. And a couple of Knorr cubes. I'm using chicken cubes. A bit of freshly ground pepper. And give it a stir around. It's looking tasty already. A lot of colours in there. Looks really nice. And simmer it away. When it starts to boil, turn the heat down to low and let it simmer slowly. When the vegetables are cooked and soft, last but not least, throw in the malungai. You throw this in last because it cooks really quickly. And just cook for a few more minutes. And it's pretty much done. And there you have it. My version of Monggo. A big boiling pot of nutrition. Very, very healthy. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to tuck into some Monggo soon. Top it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. It's delicious. You can serve it with rice, but for me there's no need.